Okay, we've got our Mexican style shrimp cocktail. We were gonna go the saltine route, but we're keeping it paleo with some plantain chips. We've got some super radical rib rub involved, and we'll be right back. Woo! Good paleo. All right, you guys, a plantain. We're going with green plantains for this preparation. They're not super sweet yet. They still have some form. They won't get mushy and mashy. Okay? But if you're not familiar with plantains, I'm just going to show you quickly a good way to get into them. They kind of hold tightly to their skin. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. This one's actually coming off pretty easy. If you do a bunch of them, your hands will get all sticky. But we're just going to work with one today. I'll use my big knife. We're gonna cut across at a little bias, and we're going for about that thick. From there, let's just spread these guys out. Hit them with some rib rub. Just a light dusting. Take them from kind of radical to super radical, right? See that right on there? That's what it says. Okay. Over here, we've got half olive oil and half coconut oil. We're at 371 degrees. And then what's the goal here? What we see is a lot of bubbles. That represents moisture coming out. We like things that are crispy, so it might make sense to cook them until they stop bubbling, which is a sign that the moisture is out, which is a sign that they might be crispy. So we'll just see what happens. They're gonna get a little color to them. We will season the other side with the super radical rib rub as they come out of the oil, and then pair them up with that cocktail. We'll be golden. We're doing a little check-in here on the chips. It's called the chip check-in. And the moisture, the bubbles you can see have subsided. They're still going a little bit, which just tells us where the moisture is. If I find one that's barely bubbling, that's a sign that it's probably about done. It'll be crispy. The reason that we're cooking these this way instead of just buying the store-bought ones is that we're selecting favorable or healthy oils, all right? Coconut and olive. Where most times in the store, they're gonna be fried in vegetable oil, canola oil. Sometimes they've added sugar, that kind of stuff. So let's just take one out here, test it, flip it over. Then you got about 5 to 7 seconds when it comes out. There we go. While the oil is still sizzling on the top, we wanna get the seasoning on there. That way when we turn it, see how that sticks? All right guys, here we go. Go ahead and pull these guys. They're getting a little dark. The longer you go, the crispier they'll get, but they also have tendency of once the moisture is gone, they'll burn easily, right? They'll darken quickly. So we're just gonna get these off. First ones are already at risk of non-adhesion, non-adhering seasoning. But we're good, we'll just do that. We're gonna pair this up. I'm just gonna go ahead and plate these. We finished them, it took about 5 to 7 minutes is what we figure, depending, as long as you keep your oil hot, right at about 350 or above, 350, 375. These will come together quickly. Not difficult, they just require constant attention, and your window of success is not super huge, but with a little practice, you guys will perfect this. Whenever super radical rib rub is involved, there's tons of flavor. We've been practicing perfection with our paleo plantains. We started the week with our Mexican style shrimp cocktail. So now you guys have a little lesson plan for this weekend. Get out there, get after it. As always, I'm here in the test kitchen, doing what I can to help you guys keep it paleo.